What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. So earlier today, I was going through one of my knife cases and I was trying to come up with an idea for a video, and I said, hey, let's pick out some knives that we haven't talked about in quite a while, some knives that are available right now and they're at a good price. Now, I did throw one or two newer knives on this list, but for the most part, we're going to be looking at some knives that we would not consider new releases. Now we're going to kick the video off with this little feller here, the Kaiser Banish. I'll have it linked down below in the description along with every knife you see in the video today, and I'll try to keep them in order for you. That way they are easy to find and easy to locate. And if you're new to my channel and you like knife and EDC content, you're in the right spot. Make sure you're subscribed because I release daily videos. And as always, let us know what you're carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. Love hearing from you guys and seeing what you're carrying for the day. So the Banish here, this is just a little feller, more of a secondary size knife, but these are going to be coming in at a great price point right now. I believe under $40. For Nitro V, you have that beautiful drop point, modified Wharncliffe style blade. You have a cutout and front flipper along with a button lock G10 handles and a deep carry clip that'll be reversible. Just a nice little backup utility cutter in some very good materials for not a whole lot of money. Next up, we're talking about the Concept Egress. Now, this particular one came out earlier in 2024, and it's a knife that I've pretty much been high on all year. They put it out in 14C 28N steel. You got this nice straight edge sheep split style blade. You have a cutout and a front flipper for the deployment. A nice snappy detent on this thing, and it is very easy to disengage. You have a nice chamfer there on that liner. Very good action on the open and close. You got several spots for jimping here, and those are all very good spots just to lock you in those particular grips. And then we are looking at a deep carry right hand only pocket clip on this particular model. But for the materials and build quality from Concept, these are coming in at a great price point and is going to be an awesome workhorse for you. Next up, we're taking a look at the full-size Vosteed Acorn. And this is a knife that when I initially took a look at this, I didn't think it was going to be quite my style. But when I got this thing out of the box and started handling it, started using it, I just realized how good of a design this thing is. Now, it might not fit everyone's hand like it fits mine, but the way that these lines are done, it works so good. You have this very slight curve on the spine there, and I don't know, it just locks me in personally. I know there's a lot of other people out there who have enjoyed the Acorn. They also make a mini one as well. Coming in 14C 28N steel, you have a front flipper and a cutout. Incredibly good action on these knives. Some of the best in the business. You have good access to the liner with a chamfer and jimping on there. And then we are looking at a deep carry left and right hand clip there. The Acorn is an extremely solid knife, especially at the price point. They come in micarta and a plethora of different handle materials and versions. Next up, we're taking a look at the Civivi Vision FG, a very popular knife over the last couple of years, and it's a knife that I haven't talked about though in quite a while. And having a larger collection, sometimes knives they sit in the drawer for an extended period, and then you're going through that drawer and you pick it up and you're like, damn, that's why that knife was so good. The Vision FG is a fantastic EDC knife. It's got a great blade shape for it. Would make a great utility style user as well. You have dual thumb studs for deployment. You are getting that super lock, which is a spine mounted lock. Very fun and fidgety, but also going to provide a very good lockup for that blade and is going to be dependable for you. It does come standard with a deep carry clip that is reversible. I threw a Civivi milled clip on here. Won't mind getting a little bit fatter of a clip for this one in particular, but for now, that's how I have this thing rocking out. And these came in Nitro V steel. The Civivi Vision FG was a very popular knife, and I still think it is a very relevant knife even right now. Now, we have talked about a few of the other canaries in the fairly recent past, but it's been a little while since we talked about the liner lock, and I know for a fact I was looking through Amazon, and this knife is down under $40, which is insane. The QSP Canary liner lock version, we're going to be getting QSP's 14C28N, which they do a great job with it. There are 30 different versions of this knife you can choose from, all kinds of different colors and blade finishes. This is going to be a great size for a lot of people. I like knives a little bit larger than this, but this is a sweet spot for very many people. And at this price point, if you're just looking for a solid everyday carry cutter, this would be a hard one to overlook. Yes, even with the cutouts in the handle, sometimes I mind it, sometimes I don't. In this case, I really don't mind the cutouts in the handle. We are looking at a liner lock, very snappy action, great closing action as well, comfortable in hand. We have a deep carry pocket clip that is recessed and will be left hand friendly, and they include a nice filler tab there. But the QSP Canary coming in, I think it was like $36, is an incredible deal. Next up, we're doing a throwback to the first Kershaw that I have bought in a very long time. And because of this knife, I will be buying, more in the future. This is the Kershaw Iridium, and we got a satin finished D2 blade here. They have a couple different variations of this knife, but Kershaw does a fantastic job with their D2 steel. And that's a big deal, because it's not just any old D2, it is properly heat treated D2, and that makes a huge difference. We're looking at dual thumb studs for deployment. We have a nice large sharpening choil. Kershaw does a great job on their crossbar locks. We're looking at aluminum handles. We have this copper coated backspacer here, a deep carry clip, and that is going to be reversible. This is a good size knife right here. Don't cost a lot of money, and you're going to be getting a very solid build out of the Kershaw Iridium. Next up, we have the Fintizo Falcon series, and Fintizo has been an impressive company all year long and has gotten better every single model that they have put out, and these are currently coming in under $45 right now. We're looking at 14C28N steel that is done very well. We have this heavy blasted finish on the blade there. It is more of a harpoon drop point. We have a large finger choil there, and that'll be very comfortable in a choke up and give you a ton of control over this blade. You can also use that to work your way up onto that tip for more precise cuts. They have G10 versions. They have different G10 versions, and they have different finishes on the blades that you can choose from. We have good access to the liner with a chamfer, a very nice, strong detent on this knife, and it is pretty much a common theme among their knives. They have very good action, and they're just good knives all the way around. We have textured G10. They also deal with a lot of aluminum. We do have an aluminum backspacer here, and we have steel liners, and then we have a lower mounted deep carry clip, and that is going to be right hand only. That's probably one of the only downfalls right now of Fintizo. They haven't quite gotten to that step where including a left hand clip option is on their knives, but They are a very new company, and I believe they will probably have it under control at the beginning of 2025. Next up, we have what I call, or who I call, rake. That is not the proper pronunciation, I know, but this is the P138 right here. Regardless of how you pronounce their name, doesn't really matter. They make a high quality knife. Going to be coming in 14C28N. You have this nasty low drop point style tanto blade, and what I mean is that tanto tip is nice and low, so I call it a drop tanto or a drop tip tanto. Very, very nice, very versatile blade shape, nice sharpening choil. This is going to be a flipper only, but done very, very well. You also have this secondary lock here that I found out about the hard way, but that will prevent the liner from being closed when it is actuated. A tab slides in behind that liner and it prevents that from being slid over. So that is a nice little manual secondary lock there and very easy to disengage. Good closing action. We have textured G10 here. Very comfortable. A good size knife right here. A full size knife. And then we are looking at a lower mounted deep carry right hand only pocket clip. But for the materials, did I lock that? For the materials of this knife and the build quality that you get from Rake, this is an extremely solid knife. And actually, you're going to get a 2-for-1 on this one because right now, this one is even cheaper than the P138. The P155 here at the time of recording this is down around $40. You're going to get dual deployments with the oversized thumb studs, which are done extremely well. And you have a flipper tab there. You have that trailing point style blade coming in 14C28N steel. You have that mirrored blasted style finish on the blade. Looks good and it takes wear pretty well. Nice sharpening choil there, and you could use that as kind of a cheat up there a little bit. Good access to the liner and very, very solid action. At the price that these are right now, that is an insanely good deal. And we're looking at a lower mounted right hand only, or no, that's reversible, I believe. That is a reversible clip. We have steel liners, textured G10, very, very comfortable. That harpoon trailing point and those beautiful lines. Absolutely love this knife. And I forgot to mention it, but that also has that secondary lock there on the spine, which prevents you from pushing that liner over. Nice little secondary touch. And we haven't talked about this one since June, but the Kaiser Nice Guy. Now, this one won't be available. This is a Blade Show exclusive deal. But the Kaiser Nice Guy came in quite a few different configurations and different materials. They did D2, Nitro V, G10, aluminum. This knife has been very, very popular. We have a dual set of jimping on the spine, which is really nice. Just a good mid-size flipper. The only knock on this knife was the lack of sharpening choil there, but the way that this goes into the edge, that is kind of just how the design ultimately ended up. If you wanted that full finger choil and to include larger hands, you almost need that if you want a full grip on the thing. Otherwise, on the handle, it's more of a 3.5 finger grip. But you're looking at a good sized folder here for just EDC, and it's going to have quite a bit of capability with it and bring quite a bit of value, especially the D2 and G10 version with the deep carry clip that is reversible. I think those come in around $30, which is really hard to beat if you're just looking for a casual EDC. And this is the new one that I was talking about at the beginning. Wanted to give this one just a little bit more screen time. But I've really been enjoying the CJRB Locust. This is a newer knife from them. We have that thumb disc there for deployment instead of studs or a cutout. They went with the thumb disc there, and I don't mind that at all. if you're into collecting knives, if you're an enthusiast, I think everyone should have a couple of knives that have, different thumb discs and different thumb ramps, just to have them. If you're in that collector phase, otherwise, you'll have to kind of figure out if that's something you like. But in my opinion, as a collector and as an enthusiast, I want different studs and discs and stuff like that in my collection. Now, this is an affordable version from them in RPM 9. You have that spear point blade with that thumb disc. This is going to be a steel and G10 on steel liner here, and a very traditional-esque style looking knife with a lot of modern materials. We are looking at a deep carry clip that is reversible, and it does come with a nice little lanyard there. This is a standard button plunge lock, and CGRB does them very, very well. You also have that secondary crossbar lock there that you can activate just to help you in case you were to push that button. It is not a secondary means of keeping that blade locked up. It's more of a secondary means to help you in case you push the button. Hopefully you understand that. As a right-hander, it's not something I even pay attention to. And if you are a lefty using this knife, it is nice to have that for a little added peace of mind. You'll have to let me know, what was your favorite knife from today's list? I always look forward to hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people. If you are new to my channel, I release daily knife and EDC content just like this. Make sure you're subscribed and you ring the bell. That'll notify you anytime I release new content. I'll put a couple of new videos up on your screen. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.